internal homepage where we designed on our own. I've seen already on the round table thing, setting up a content management system like Drupal. We are using Drupal, so it's open source. A lot of the projects I've seen so far using Facebook and Google Docs, I know it's very comfy, everyone has an account and everything, but having control about your own food supply and having control about your production, for us means as well having control about your communication tools. So we rent our own server and we have people who set the thing up actually, and we use this internal website to coordinate the work assignments. So every time people are wanted to help on the farm, there's a page where people can sign up and say, okay, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna bring kids, I'm gonna bring friends. So we know, okay, we need 4 people, 4 are already there, I'm going next week. And the people can communicate directly with each other. There's a diary on the blog, on the page, etc., etc. So they use that a lot for internal communication. What does it mean to be a member in the GartenCoop? It means, first of all, it's 4 points. First point is you give a capital contribution to the farm. It's a loan from every member to the association of 400 euros, which you can pay little by little if you are not able to pay it at once. But this basically allows us to be independent from banks. We don't have any bank loans to buy equipment, to buy anything, to buy seeds in the beginning of the season. We just use that money. Like, we're 260 members. We've got about 100,000 euros where we can buy machinery from, and so on and so forth. And we have some liquid capital where we can work with. So that is the direct loan. That is one part. Then every member has the obligation to go to the General Assembly, which takes place once a year. At this General Assembly, we present the budget of the upcoming year. So in December 2011, we proposed the budget for 2012. We said, okay, for running the farm in 2012, we need 220,000 euros. Every one of you thinks about, what is the project worth to me? What are my financial resources? What can I contribute financially to cover this budget? So we don't tell anyone it is whatever, 80 euros a month or 50 euros a month. Everyone has to come up with its own bid on the food. And they're supposed to take whatever they need for food. So we really emphasize this point of detaching the food from the price. Detach the price tag from the food. And everyone has to contribute 4 days of work each year to the farm, which we don't really control, but we encourage everyone to do. So this is a little bit of repetition. We do not pay for the food, we pay for the agriculture, we pay to maintain the farm. We don't tell anyone, this is the average, you have to pay that. It's self-assigned. The average is just math. Everyone can calculate 220,000 through 260, and then you got an average. That's math, but we don't tell them you have to pay that. It's just an orientation for people who are not really creative. This way, we include people with less financial resources, because they can say, well, I have little income, I just pay 20 euros a month, and other people pay more because they have more money. I mean, that's what society is. We're not all equal. So we try to question the value and price relation. There's an issue always with volunteer labor and paid labor. We have some paid labor. More or less 10 people are paid for their work now in the GartenCoop. 10 people, in different work signs. 5 farmers. There's one guy who takes care of the workshop and the tools, machinery. There are 2 guys who are taking care of the financial budget stuff. People who take care of the communication structure, and so on and so on. They're all members, yeah. So now a little bit about how the food actually gets distributed. I'm going to go first to that. So on the farm itself, we harvest the stuff and bring it all together, weigh how much we harvest, and then we have different distribution points in the city. So we assign a box to a certain amount of harvest to each distribution point. For example, if we harvest 260 salads, and there's a distribution point where 30 people pick up their lettuce, we bring 30 salads to that distribution point. And we do the same if we weigh the stuff. But then what happens at the distribution point is their own business. If someone says, I hate salads, I don't take any, and another one takes 2, that's fine for us, it doesn't matter for us. So we bring the vegetables, normally by car. We did it 5 times by bicycle, but normally we do it by car, 20 kilometers to the city with a car sharing bus. So we don't have our own bus, or van. We rent a van once a week in a carpooling system. So because we just did it once a week, we don't need our own one. Then it comes to the hub where all the vegetables basically got brought in, and there the bicycles wait to distribute them in the city. These are the distribution points. That's 2011. We got more now, but basically it arrives at one point and then it gets distributed by bicycle. It's hard to have our vegetable boxes on the bicycle, so we need trailers. These are some of them. We have more by now. So we constructed them on our own, most of them, and then we pack them on the trailers and bring them around town, and that's all done by members, right? Members come and do this task every week. This is our big trailer where we bring the stuff. This is one of the distribution points in the Stühlinger where the people pick up their stuff. This is an harvest example. It's from July last week. Like, we do about 1.5 tons in the summer season of vegetables for our 260 members. So why are we doing it complicated? Well, I've told you before, fossil fuels are going to run out, so we're going to have no oil, so burn fat, not oil. Fat we do grow with our food. We got no money for the fitness studio anyway, so we are doing it by bicycle and get fit. It's really important that we check post-fossilistic alternatives in the real day life and not just talking about them. It's obviously climate protection and a lot of fun. We're doing as well, we don't want just to create this thing for us and have a nice world. We want to share the idea with other people. That's why we did a workshop, for example, as a European Network Academy last year in Freiburg. We write articles in different newspapers. We have a monthly radio show of 1 hour at our free radio station in Freiburg. We take part in the Reclaim the Fields network and go to the gatherings and assemblies there. And we have our local political struggle, because 8 kilometers from our farm, there's the oldest nuclear power plant in France, Fessenheim. So we always support the movement, and we are part of the movement to close down this nuclear facility. That is it so far for me. I think from my counting, I got still 3 minutes, and I got a video of 4 minutes. Do we show them? What do you say? Okay, let's check if that is working. I'm going to comment on the video. It's in German. It's ready since yesterday, and it's actually not ready. It's not released. But it basically shows the harvest of last week. So these are the boxes, the veg boxes. It was shitty weather, but that is reality as well. It's not always sunshine if you harvest. So we harvested salads in our tunnel and radieschen. That is one of our farmers. He's explaining a little bit what is the GartenCoop all about, and what it means to be actually part of the GartenCoop and how they do their work assignments. That is one of our members. She says, she's Michaela, and she's a teacher, teaches German and English in a school. So normally she doesn't have time, but last week there was holidays in Germany, so she had time to help and actually come to work on the farm and help harvesting. And this is another member, it's Robert. So you see we have, it's hard to describe who is a member of the GartenCoop, really. There are people of all ages. I would say the investigation before with the food coop was really interesting. I think we have as well people who have a certain level of education, of higher academic education. And yeah, he is explaining a little bit that it's about sharing of knowledge. Like, he as a farmer wants to really teach the people how to grow food and answers really questions, if they have questions, how they're really doing it. And yeah, she's actually a member. She's actually coming from the Netherlands, and she's saying, yeah, I'm a city kid. I've never harvested anything, and actually I didn't know that this thing is called Kopfsalat before. It was just salad. It was like any other salad as well. So now we're just harvesting in the polytunnel because it's still not the season for harvesting outside. So these are the boxes. We come in, we clean the veg. We don't clean it like very shiny because we don't have to sell it, so we don't have to make it really attractive. The people know that it's good food. So we clean it in order not to transport too much dirt on our bikes because that's heavy. And it's Wolf, so I remember he says, for him it's important that with our project actually we take the basement of capitalism and re-question the base of capitalism and doing something together without just exchanging prices. And the little signs you just seen attached are the signs for each distribution point that has a name, obviously. These two are one of our farmers. This is Luciano. That's the guy with the red shirt you haven't really seen on the picture. So he was the guy who initiated the thing and brought us to Jardin de Cagne, and here he explains what community-supported agriculture means for him. Here are the cyclists coming. This is Thomas with one of the trailers. Yeah, and he explains, like, while he's loading up the cart, he's explaining that he's part of a collective who actually works on constructing these trailers and make them better. One of the challenges right now is how to make them brake on their own, because there's something 150 kilos sometimes on the trailers, and it really pushes you if you want to brake in front of a crossroad or something. So there are some technical challenges we have to solve on our own. Sometimes you can buy solutions, but it's really heavy. That's me. I took the little trailer this time. I was lazy. And here is Jakob coming with the biggest one. I think at this time he put around 30 boxes on the freaking trailer. That is mental. And yeah, it's 20 Ks. And there as well, people, you have seen Thomas, he's above 50. Eckhart is as well above 50. And that's me explaining a little bit like what we're doing now. We're just, the village in the back is where our farm is. So that is the first kilometers going to Freiburg with all our veg. And yeah, here are the 5 trailers going after each other. So that's for me. I hope you learned something about community supported agriculture.